huge congratulations. In our next category, we have some incredible talent. It's Best Actor or Actress in Film. To present it, an actress currently serving in The Paradise on Sunday nights and one of the stars of Outlander. Please welcome Joanna Vanderham and Sam Heughan.
Good evening.
Eskamar.
We are incredibly honoured to be here tonight, but we imagine not half as honoured as those nominated. So let's take a look at the tape.
I'd have to say the God hasn't got a clue what's going on. Blind to all the beatings, corruption that your fools carry out every single day in this place. Because if you did know, then you're really no better than us. You know what, sir? In a funny way, I feel sorry for you. You see, I'll walk away from here in 3 days. But you're doing life.
You want to make Jane Lockhart's life a misery so she'll finish writing her book? That's seriously messed up. They teach you this stuff in France.
We study a broad curriculum. So, how do we make someone completely, totally miserable?
Why are you asking me? I've dedicated the last 10 years to encouraging young minds, planting hope and aspiration. Benson, put it away. Stand in the corner and face the wall. Little shite. Okay, maybe I have some experience in the field.
What kind of things did he say?
I don't know. Just that you were the best.
The best. Do you think he thought I was beautiful?
Yeah.
Say it.
He thought you were beautiful.
Okay. And the winner of the British Academy Scotland Award for Best Actor is George Mackay for Those in Peril.
Hi. I know what you're thinking. George has let himself go a bit in the last few months, but unfortunately George can't be with us tonight. He's filming on location, and he's passed on the following message. Thank you to BAFTA Scotland for this award. It is a real honour. I'd like to firstly thank the whole cast and crew of For Those in Peril. Bear with me, sorry. As the making of the film was a shared experience, and especially I'd like to thank Kate, Mary and Polly. I'd also like to thank my family and those closest to me and give a special thank you to Donna French. I'd like to share this award with Paul Wright. That's me, by the way. I'm not just some random guy. And thank you for letting me be part of your story and for working with me. I'm very honoured to have met you and worked with you. That's his words. Okay, thanks very much.
Did actually say that. He wasn't making it up, okay? Now for the evening's third special award. It goes to Rockstar North. The Edinburgh-based development studio behind Rockstar Games' blockbuster Grand Theft Auto series. The best-selling and critically acclaimed franchise has single-handedly revolutionised the open-world genre of video games. Leaders in the field of modern games development, Rockstar North is home to 300 staff covering multiple creative and technical disciplines, from art and architecture through to physics. Come on, you mention science and everybody starts talking. Come on. Artificial intelligence, computer graphics, audio and animation. To present this award, please welcome director of the show that had us all asking 2 questions on Saturday nights for weeks on end. One, who done it? And the other, where can I get one of those jumpers? Please put down your knitting needles and put your hands together. I am slightly in awe. For the director of The Killing is Birger Larsen.
Hello. All right. I don't know where the jumper comes from. I didn't knit it. I think it's from the Faroe Islands. Anyway, I'm delighted to be here tonight. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been a thrill so far. Thank you so much. It's good to be back in Glasgow. Last time I was here was Scarlett Johansson lived at my hotel. That was nice. As well. Anyway, I'm delighted to present this award for Rockstar's latest venture, Grand Theft Auto 5, which further cemented Grand Theft Auto's place as a true cultural phenomenon by generating revenue of over $1 billion in just 3 days. Now that's a good bottle of red wine. Making it the biggest entertainment launch in history. Let's take a look.
I've been in this game for a lot of years, and I got out alive. If you want my advice, give this shit up.
You're an efficient killer. I like that in a man. Make him bleed.
If you do this to me, you will be a made man. The time to take over this town is now. One day, I'm gonna save your ass, and you're probably gonna want to kiss me.
Now only you can hear me. And that's the way you're gonna want it, because I'm your only way out of here.
My dog, what's up? You give off a positive energy.
Oh, shit!
Wall Street is king! Wall Street is king!
What is wrong with you people? Don't you know a good time when you see one?
Drink what you gotta drink. Kill who you gotta kill. But we gotta stick together.
Things went a bit crazy and I somehow lost my pants.
I'm the one who survived.
That's Trevor, my best friend. That's Franklin, the son I always wanted. Jesus, your therapist has a lot to answer for.
Please give it up for the team from Rockstar North, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, BAFTA Scotland, for this award, which honours the incredible talent, creative and technical, that is at Rockstar North. On behalf of everybody at this Edinburgh studio, thank you again. Thanks.
Thank you. I was going to say earlier that the drinks were going to be on Ford, but I think the drinks are definitely on them tonight. Woo! Right, we've reached tonight's penultimate award. Yeah! Which honours... Let's have a little bit of hush in the room, please, gentlemen and ladies, please. We're going to honour this year's Best Feature Film. To announce the winner, please welcome a local actress who just lights up the international film and television screens. The lovely, the brilliant Kelly MacDonald, accompanied by the General Manager of our partner, British Airways, Ken Bryan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure and that of British Airways to present this award for the Best Feature Film. And I'm delighted to do it in association with Kelly MacDonald, a lovely actress and a beautiful woman, and it's a great way to spend a Sunday evening. So, without further ado, let's have a look at the nominees. Thanks.
The top of my head started to cook. Steam was rising off the water, and I was really in a bad way then. I thought, I'm going to die either. I'm going to be burnt to death or I'm going to drown. And I said, I think I'd sooner drown, I said.
I think if you believe anything enough, it will come true. If you just believe. Would you wait on him?
I'd wait forever.
Do you think we'll ever see him again?
Oh, here he is at last. The wee man himself, Paul Ferris. Over here, pal, join us for a bevy. And what that is, Paul?
CS gas.
My fucking eye! Just done some field tests. Mate, Tweedledum and Tweedledummer. What's that doing, Paul? Here, next to me.
The winner is For Those in Peril.
Thanks so much for this. This is great. This is it means a lot to me and to the film. And I'd just like to thank all the cast and all the crew, some of which are here tonight with me, and also all the financiers. You know, it's quite a strange little film, and it was the BFI, Creative Scotland, Film 4, Screen Yorkshire, for them to back me as a filmmaker and get behind me. It really means a lot, and hopefully it shows good things can happen with that. And family, that's always a safe bet. Go with that. They're having a BAFTA party tonight, so they're watching it, and there was talk of making BAFTA masks and stuff like that, so quite creepy, but so I'll say hi to them. They're watching it online. Just thanks so much, and like I say, anything that can get word about the film out there means so much to us, and this is great. Finally, I'd just like to say thanks a lot to BAFTA Scotland, actually, because they were the first people to recognise me. It was like 7 or 8 years ago, the very first film I made, and they were the first people to recognise me, and so it means a lot. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Thanks.
The best speech so far, I think. Right, our final award of the evening is the Outstanding Contribution to Television and Film, an award which shines the spotlight on one individual's body of work, on their talent and dedication to their craft. This year's recipient is an actor and director who could not be more deserving of the recognition of his peers. To honour him, our guest presenter has hot-footed it from appearing as Richard II at Stratford. I hope everybody watched the third episode this week because he got away with murder. Oh, I hope I've not spoiled it. And the brilliant The Escape Artist on the BBC, and everybody's fingers are crossed that he returns in as D.I. Alec Hardy in Broadchurch. To top it all, he's just been anointed as the nation's favourite Doctor Who ever. Something David Tennant.
Good evening. The winner of this year's award for Outstanding Achievement in Television Film is an actor and a director. He has been a regular fixture on the nation's television screens for nearly 50 years. It is Richard Wilson. Richard started late. He'd always wanted to act, but as he said, growing up in Greenock in the 40s, you didn't say you wanted to become an actor or you'd get a punch in the mouth and told not to be a big Jessie. He became a lab technician before he finally made it to RADA aged 27. And after graduating on a Friday, he started work on Dr. Finlay's casebook the following Monday. Richard was terrified and bemused to find that the sets in the studio were actually in colour. He's rarely been away from a set since. As an actor in television, film and theatre, and then as a hugely respected theatre director, Richard has never been out of work. As a regular in Crown Court, Only When I Laugh and Hot Metal, as well as roles in A Passage to India and A Dry White Season, he was even Mr. Bean's dentist. And anyone who saw John Byrne's Tutti Frutti will never forget exactly. Impossible to forget the sublime double act of Richard's Mr. Clockerty and Katie Murphy's Miss Toner. On television, and particularly in the theatre, Richard built a career as one of the country's most respected and sought-after directors. He's worked at the Traverse, at the National Theatre, the Royal Court, and is currently an associate at the hugely successful Sheffield Crucible. But in 1990, Richard moved from being a busy, respected character actor to the country's favourite curmudgeon. Richard actually turned down One Foot in the Grave 3 times, assuming he was too young for the role. Don't laugh. But when he finally was persuaded to accept, television history was made. Victor Meldrew, created by writer David Renwick and brought to vivid, vituperative life by Richard, lived on BBC One for 10 years and captured the imagination of the nation. Victor Meldrew became a shorthand for grumpy old man. Richard's performance won him 2 BAFTAs and a host of other awards, along with the adoration of up to 20 million viewers an episode. Along with his hugely entertaining rants and ever-mounting sense of exasperation at the world around him, Richard gave Victor Meldrew a true humanity. The relationship between Richard and his wife Margaret, played by the brilliant Annette Crosbie, grounded the series with a heart and with a love that helped to elevate it to one of the all-time great sitcoms. And ever since, Richard has been one of the most ubiquitous, most sought-after and most loved faces in the country. He has a younger generation devoted to him as Gaius in the BBC's Merlin. And he's recently developed a new skill set as a presenter, railing against railways and call centres and taking the BBC4 audience on a driving tour of Britain. I can think of no one who deserves this honour more, not just because of his unique talent and his many years in the business, but because he is one of the finest, most generous and noblest people that I have had the pleasure to work with. He's one of the youngest septuagenarians you could hope to meet. Richard has a joy for life and a curiosity for the new that makes him a joy to be around. You will struggle to find anyone who's come across Richard who isn't charmed and enchanted by him. He has been an inspiration to me, both as a fan and as a friend. Oh, I'm getting quite emotional. I am so delighted to be presenting this award this evening. Let's take a look at some of his work.
He'd love it if somebody came up to him and said his catchphrase.
Oh, yeah, Ted. He'd love that. You should definitely do that. I'd say no one ever does that to him.
I mean, nobody likes a teacher, do they? I'm on the telephone, Miss Turner.
I should have thought the question was quite simple. Shall I put it another way?
Not to worry, old chap. You're in good hands now. I was about to add that there's a certain member here present who's known to be in contact with the prisoner's defense. I'd like to say one can't run with the hare and hunt with the hounds. At least not in this country.
Tell you one thing, though. It's a good job I didn't sit down in that bath.
Yes, how very lucky that was.
And when it came to the part of Eddie Clarkley and Tony Smith and I were talking about, and he said to me, there's only one guy who can play this part. And I looked at him and I said, and we both said it, Richard Wilson.
How does the chassis feel?
Trifle rimmy.
Should have that rectified. Pins, Janice.
Gonna not grip that quite so tight, Eddie.
There's the most astonishing scene, which is right at the beginning of the film, when I, as this young nurse, arrive to be interviewed. And I'm standing in the hallway waiting, and I look out of the window, and there is the parade ground.
One!
But of course, they all have their crutches, and the sergeant major is shouting, one, one, one.
One!
And a bigger anti-war statement I don't think I've ever seen on a screen in fiction.
It's a pajama case, you say?
Yeah. My sister had one in pink.
What have you done, Richard?
Whatever, I put 4 yolks.
Yolks?
4 yolks in here. I brought the blade. I'm so excited. Are you a doctor?
I have my moments.
Have you examined any of them yet?
No.
Don't touch the flesh.
Potion will allow you to see Uther in his spirit form.
Is it safe?
I can't say I'm entirely sure.
Notwithstanding his immense charm and his warmth, his peerless acting skills, and his unquestionable comic talents and timing, for me it would have to be his bare bottom work that places him in the pantheon of all-time television greats.
Afternoon. I only think of one thing worse than dying. That's living forever. I mean, can you just imagine how terrible that would actually be if I was just always here forever and ever and ever?
Yes. I'm glad he's getting an award for services to television, etc. But actually, I think he's a wonderful ambassador for Scotland. And if ever there's an independent government, they should think about Richard as Foreign Secretary. because they won't find anyone more tactful and gracious and, most of all, trustworthy. I'd trust Richard anywhere. I haven't done this to you personally, Richard, because I know perfectly well you'd curl up and die with embarrassment. But I hope you're having a lovely time, darling.
Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Wilson.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I've had a standing ovation ever. It's very important to find the right words when accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award. The right words to express how one feels on such an auspicious and emotional evening. I mean, it's a one-off. You'll never get another one. You have to make the most of it. You have to show some humility and, at the same time, a sense of occasion, a sense of importance of such an event, coming as it does towards the end of one's career, a career that, as David says, spans nearly 50 years. As I pondered this, how to express this, 3 words kept swimming onto my radar. And these 3 words are chuffed to buggery. I'm not quite sure exactly what that means, but it has got a ring to it. And I thought it might raise a titter. And I've got here, A, I was wrong, B, I was right. I was right. It is, of course, a time for thank yous. First of all, I just want to thank the Cosmos Cinema in Glasgow. Thank you, David. I'm glad I didn't have to bend down for that. Whilst I was working in Stop Hill Hospital, the Cosmo, now the GFT, showed me what world cinema was about, what foreign films was about. The first foreign film I ever saw was a French film called The Wages of Fear. The Cosmos showed a new foreign film every week. It showed me a new world. I want to thank 2 teachers who taught me at RADA, Peter Barkworth and Madame Meldrew. I have to thank all those writers, of course, whose work I performed. The wonderful John Byrne for Tutti Frutti. David Renwick, of course, who wrote the brilliant scripts for Hot Metal and One Foot in the Grave. And John Cantor, who writes the radio series Believe It. I would also like to thank writers whose work I have directed in the theatre. Christopher Shin, Ian Heggie, Richard Bean, D.C. Moore, Duncan Macmillan, and currently Robin Hooper. I would like to thank my fellow actors and actresses whose work I have performed with Katie Murphy and Ed Crosby, and of course, David Tennant. David, I know how busy you are, and to have you here tonight means so much to me. Thank you very much. Since he's sitting at my table, I have to thank my agent, John Grant, a tireless sort of a man without whom I'd be 10% richer. Also at my table is my sister Moira. If I didn't mention her, I would get a punch in the throat. My gratitude too to the many makeup artists, thanks to whose incredible talents and groundbreaking use of prosthetics, I can still pass for 77. I feel with this award, in some small way, I have been elevated amongst the giants of Scottish stage, somewhere between Ewan McGregor and the Crankies. It seems like only yesterday, in fact it was only yesterday, that I was being voted best newcomer by the nurses of the Twilight Rooms for Retirement Home. Next year we face the independence referendum. Recent polls suggest that 51% of us are against independence, 30% of us for leaving, 19% who couldn't care less as long as Danny Boyle does the opening ceremony. I mentioned Danny Boyle because I gave him one of his first jobs ever. Lastly, thank you to BAFTA Scotland. I'm honoured, humbled, and yes, I'll say it again, chuffed to buggery. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. For 2013, 19 British Academy and Scotland Awards delivered to the worthy winners, and a taste of the exceptional work being done in Scotland. Congratulations to them, to all the nominees. Thank you to all our presenters and partners, and to you all for coming and supporting excellence in the art forms of the moving image. You'll be happy to know, those of you who aren't talking, dinner will be served shortly, followed by an after-show knees up with some incredible guest DJs. Kirsty Walks DJing. Oh, yes. I'm going to spin a few tunes. 20 minutes of editors. You've got to keep it in-house. So start marking your dance card. Have a great evening, and thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I have a big hand, please, for our host this evening, Edith Bowman, please. Thank you.